In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make one of these little FLEXAGON infinity origamis. So they're pretty cool. Once they're done, they look something like this, and you can turn them and rotate them in different ways. You can flip it around and it kind of becomes a fun fidget toy. I learned how to make these, and then I decided to draw some designs on them and discovered that there's a way to draw something that looks like one thing on one side, and when you flip it and rotate it, it will look like something else. So I can show you how to do that after I show you how to put them together. To start off, we're going to be using just a normal piece of copy paper. Fold the paper in half. Fold two of the corners in towards the center, like you're making a paper airplane. Now we're gonna end up trimming off this area of the paper right here. An easy way to do that is to flip the paper, fold it up, use the corners to make sure you folded it up all the way, and then cut this line where we've creased it. Cut that paper off. This piece of paper can be used later as a straight edge, or you can also use a ruler. I'm going to use it later, so I'm going to set it aside. Now I'm going to unfold this paper. This is the size paper I need to make my FLEXAGON. To start folding the FLEXAGON, fold it in half long ways. In this project, it's really important to line up your edges and corners as precisely as possible, so make sure you take care to do that. Open this, fold the bottom up until it lines up with the middle line that you just created. Fold the top down to meet the middle, just like you did on the bottom. Fold it in half this way. It should be easy because there's already a crease there. Now fold each of these sides in towards the middle. And open it back up like this. At this time, I'm going to use a marker or a pencil to make some little marks. These dots that I'm going to make are going to help us later when we need to do some folding. It can get a little confusing the first time, but after you've put together a couple of these, it'll get easier and you won't really need them. So right now we're going to put a dot at the top and bottom of each of these fold lines. We're also going to put a dot at the top and bottom of each of the sides here and in the middle. Now we're going to be connecting these dots in a little bit, but we need to do a couple more folds first. Take the right edge and line it up with the furthest fold away from this side. And then you're going to press this down to make a crease right here. Open it up. Do the same thing from this direction. Line up this edge with this last fold. You'll notice that we're starting to create these little squares. We're going to complete that by folding each of these big squares on the edges in towards this line. So I'm folding this square in half like this. Same thing on this side. You'll notice that when I'm making my folds, I'm using my fingernails to really make the crease nice and crisp. That's going to be really helpful to you later, so once you know that the fold is in the right place, kind of reinforce it by doing that. At this time, I'm going to make some lines connecting some of these dots. I found that this can be really confusing to my students, so I'm gonna try doing it in a certain order that might make it a little easier. Keep this laying flat and use a straight edge like a ruler or the piece of paper that we trimmed off. I like to use the edge that was the original edge of the paper just in case my scissor cutting was a little crooked. Now I'm going to connect the middle top dot to the bottom dot on each of the far sides of this thing. So it'll look like I have a little mountain. Don't worry if your lines are not perfect because they'll be hidden when we make some folds later. Now I'm going to do basically the same thing but on the reverse side. So instead of a mountain, it's going to be like a big letter V, connecting the corner to the middle on the bottom and then to the other corner at the top. You might notice that the place where these X's are intersecting happens to be right along this middle line that we folded earlier. That's kind of important that those line up in that way. Now you'll notice there are some dots we haven't connected to anything yet. They're going to connect to each other, this dot to here and this dot to here in a big X. And then these little side dots are going to connect to both the bottom and top on each side. So this is the pattern that we're going to use when we make our folds. You don't necessarily have to draw these lines every time. It is helpful the first time to help you fold in the right places. Once you've folded one or two of these, you'll get to feel where the folds need to go. And what I did on some of these was that I just marked the little dots and then just folded to connect the dots without drawing the line. Now, when I go to fold these, it helps me if I form the corners first. So I like to put maybe like my fingernail to help make sure I don't fold it too far and do like a little pinch, really making sure I'm right in the corner, I haven't gone too far. And then do the same thing over here where I use my fingernail to kind of make sure that I'm getting right in the right spot. Now that the corners have a little start to them, I can more easily fold along the line and then just reinforce the fold by doing a little extra crease with my thumb. Now I have a fold right here. We're going to fold all of these lines going in each direction. Let's speed it up a little bit so it can get done quicker. At this time, we're going to assemble this. Find those original folds here and here. And we're gonna kind of overlap the two bottom so that they're like a triangle. And you'll notice that you can kind of slide one of these inside the other. That's what we're gonna do. If one happens to be slightly wider than the other, make that the outside one. Mine are pretty close to the same. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to slide this inside of this little pocket that's sort of created here. So you'll have one area that's like the paper is doubled up, but it won't be a problem. Okay, I have overlapped those two areas. I might have to kind of adjust those folds inside there as I go. The next step is you're going to find these little triangle pieces on the side that kind of easily push down like this, and find two that are across from each other right here. When you push these together, they go in towards each other. And what you want to do is kind of encourage them to fold inward so that the top is like the top of a hexagon, and reinforce these folds. Turn and do this to each of these sets. There should be 3 of them. So find these two. This one wanted to bend the other way, so you gotta sometimes look inside and fix it. And here's the last set. Fold them towards each other. Now that I've done that, my origami looks something like this. And I'm going to notice, if you look at one side and you look at this hexagon, you'll notice that if you find the two sides that aren't attached to anything, like these are attached, but these two little corners right here are not attached to anything, you can kind of pop them down and towards each other and it looks like a little bow tie. That is what you're gonna do all the way around. Pop them together, make a bow tie. Sometimes if you look inside there, there'll be something that's getting hung up. So if that happens, open it back up and just make sure that the paper is staying put where it needs to be. Okay, let's try doing this one next. And then this last one. Oops. Okay, right now I have my FLEXAGON in the right shape, but it won't want to stay put very well unless you start to rotate it. So it kind of helps to go ahead and start rotating it. You'll find that there are some folds that you need to encourage to go a different direction a little bit. You just need to kind of like tweak the way that the paper is fitting together and try to get it to rotate so that it goes inside out in a smooth motion. There we go. The more you do this rotating, the easier and smoother it gets. So right now I can go a little faster and the folds of the paper are more cooperative. This layer right here where the seam is, this tends to be, for me, the roughest part to turn because there's nothing holding it together. So you just have to be careful when you are turning that part inside out and make sure that it lays the right way before you flip it around. So that's how to create the FLEXAGON. Now let's talk about how you can rotate and make different designs and how you can make sure that the designs are going to line up with each other. I have 3 different FLEXAGONs that I made earlier, and these all have kind of like different designs on them. One of them's not all done yet. I showed you this one already. This abstract design, each line and each color will meet up with and like continue across these borders. It like lines up within the same color, whether you have it this way or if you have it flipped and have it this way. So in order to make sure that everything lines up, I had to draw it while it was in this formation and then flip it as I went. You can also take a picture that you think maybe 2 things that go together or they are opposites of each other. So I drew this zebra right in the middle. And when you rotate it and also flip it over, it creates a cheetah. So the thing that is in the background comes together. Basically, these corners here switch places with these little corners in the middle, and that's how that happens. And it's happening with these abstract designs as well, but it's harder to tell. Like this design looks different when you flip it and have it like this. The colors are just arranged a little differently. This one right here that I haven't finished yet, I do have some designs working. So here I have a little Harry Potter, and I decided to make it so when you flip it, it becomes Voldemort. I also have a little Pac-Man ghost, and if you flip it around, it becomes Miss Pac-Man. So there's different ways you can play with this and try to like come up with a design that, you know, has a theme and sort of transforms depending on which way you did it. Here's how I did that. I would recommend using a marker when you do these designs because we have this already formed. You can't really press hard on the paper like you would need to with, say, a colored pencil to color in. So something like a marker where as soon as you touch the paper, the color just goes right on there, works pretty good. I'm just gonna do an abstract design here and show you how things change when you flip it one way or the other. So if I start drawing, let's say I'm just gonna make some swirly lines. Now, right here, I feel like I could keep going like this, and I could keep going over here, and I could do this whole like squiggly line, but wherever the line ends, it might be different when I flip it. So let's see what happens when I flip it around. Sure enough, everything is all flipped around and we don't have lines meeting up. So this line, maybe it should extend and go here. And this one, let's make it go over here and go to there. I'm gonna flip it again, and I just continue doing this when I'm drawing and when I'm coloring so that I can tell, okay, this needs to go here. I'm making a real tight little corner right here, how this thing keeps moving. Let's intersect those lines. Maybe go like that. And you can have a lot of fun just making a little abstract design. It's kind of like a little maze, and see what happens. Then maybe each section could be colored in a different color, or you could leave it. I'm using this metallic Sharpie, so maybe leaving it would look pretty good as well.
Okay, I think that gives you pretty much the idea of how to draw these types of things. I'll include a little bit of footage of me creating some of the other images on the other Flexagons, just so you can sort of see how they were done. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you had a good time creating an origami Flexagon with your own unique designs on it.